Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the fifth video of the bone tumor series, which will deal with the metastatic bone tumor. The references are these. The metastatic tumor are the most common form of skeletal malignancy, as the tumors of the bone are divided into primary and secondary tumors. The primary account for about only 15% of the cases, while 85% of the cases of the bone tumor are due to metastasis or secondary tumors, and this bone is the third most common site for metastasis after lung and liver. The pathway of the spread to bone is this bone can be affected directly by direct extension. It may be affected by lymphatic or hematogenous dissemination, or there can be intraspinal seeding through the Batson plexus of the vein. The 75% of the skeletal metastases originate from the carcinomas of the prostate, breast, kidney, lung, thyroid, stomach, melanoma, neuroblastoma of the adrenal gland, and sarcomas of the embryonal and rhabdomyosarcoma, Ewing sarcoma, and osteosarcoma. When we uh, consider only children, the common causes of the bone metastasis in children are neuroblastoma, Wilms tumor, osteosarcoma, Ewing sarcoma, and rhabdomyosarcoma. The lesions in the metastatic bone tumors are usually multifocal. However, the kidney and thyroid metastases produce unifocal lesions. The commonly affected bones are the bones which have got rich capillary network of the marrow, and the examples are vertebral column, pelvis, ribs, skull, and sternum. Radiologically, they are characterized by the lytic lesion, blastic lesion, or mixed pattern. The lytic are characterized by the bone destruction, while blastic are characterized by the formation of the bone. The predominantly blastic appearance radiologically is seen in prostatic adenocarcinoma, carcinoid tumor, and small cell carcinoma of the lung, while the lytic appearance is seen in carcinoma of the kidney, lung, gastrointestinal tract, and malignant melanoma. How this metastasis occur and how the tumor cells survive and initiate the destruction of the bone. When the metastatic tumor cell reaches to the bone, it acquires a new environment, and it lives in relation with the osteoblast and the stromal cell. So the metastatic cell, these metastatic tumor cell, they produce prostaglandin, cytokine, and parathyroid hormone related peptide, which act on the osteoblast and the stromal cell, and there is increased expression of the rank ligand on the osteoblast and the stromal cell. This expression of the rank ligand, it will activate the osteoclast and increase the resorption of the bone. When this bone is resorbed, there is liberation of the matrix bound growth factor, and due to the release of these matrix bound growth factors such as transforming growth factor beta, insulin like growth factor 1, and fibroblast growth factor, they act as nutrient for the tumor cell, and they are responsible for the growth of the tumor cell. So hence they live together in the new environment. Then the the sclerotic mass metastasis or blastic activity is due to Wnt protein. So there is a Wnt protein activation, and due to this Wnt protein, there is osteoblastic activity, and the metastasis is sclerotic in appearance. The presence of bone metastasis is a poor prognostic sign, and goal for therapy are symptomatic relief and prevention of further spread. The treatment, if planned, the different treatment modalities which are available for bone metastasis are systemic chemotherapy or immunotherapy, radiation to the localized area, use of bisphosphonate, and surgery to stabilize the pathologic fractures. This is the gross appearance of the vertebral column, and this sagittal section of the vertebral bone is showing that there are multiple foci of the pale and irregular metastatic tumor which are marked by these golden arrow, and the primary site for these tumor which have been metastasized to the bone can be memorized by the mnemonic Ledgetl or PBKTL, and the organs are prostate, breast, kidney, thyroid, and lung. On the left there is a section through the vertebral column, and it is revealing a 10 nodule of metastatic tumor, and on the right this photomicrograph is showing an osteolytic lesion or tumor induced osteolysis. The malignant cell from the malignant cell of the breast cancer, it recruits numerous osteoclasts which are responsible for resorption of the bone and lead to osteolytic lesion. This is another photomicrograph which is showing metastasis to the bone. There is extensive deposit of metastatic squamous cell carcinoma, which is sufficiently differentiated to exhibit prominent pink keratinization as marked by this red arrow, and the black arrow is pointing towards the ragged edges of the residual bone trabeculae, which are consistent with the osteolysis. This is another photomicrograph of the metastatic bone lesion or metastasis by the infiltrating ductal carcinoma of the breast. This infiltrating ductal carcinoma of the breast is within the vertebral bone, and it is filling the marrow cavity, and this infiltrating ductal carcinoma, which is marked by red arrow, is on its margin. There is a reactive new bone deposition, and this is the reactive new woven bone, and it has got pale pink osteoid being laid down next to the bony spicules, which is present on the upper left side of the picture. The radionuclide bone scan are important diagnostic tool for the bone metastasis. This radionuclide bone scan reveal numerous areas of increased uptake, which are termed as the dark foci or hot spots. They exhibit metastasis which is usually multifocal. The increased cellularity and vascularity of the metastatic foci produce this differential uptake of the radioactive compound.